Brother lads, welcome back to the Cossy Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. This is the latest Arsenal news and transfer news. Arsenal are very close to signing their second signing of the summer. It's going to be a player from Ajax. Fabrizio just confirmed that Arsenal have sent in their bid to Ajax and negotiations are ongoing. We're going to be talking about that. Fabrizio has also confirmed that Arsenal and Sevilla have reached a total agreement on Albert Sambi-Lokonga going to Sevilla. That is done. That is dusted. Arsenal will receive 12 million euros and also the players' wages will be paid by Sevilla. We will talk about negotiations between Lazio and Nuno Tavares on personal terms advancing, as it has been revealed by Fabrizio that Arsenal will get 9 million on that deal. That is done. That is dusted too. And of course, Arsenal, Mikel Arteta has convinced the Arsenal board to change their policy of signing under 25 players and go and sign Mikel Moreno. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Lots of things happening around this club and I love it. I really love it when Arsenal are making moves, both incoming and both outgoing as well. So let's start off with the big story from Fabrizio, who says that this is an exclusive story. Arsenal have submitted their first offer to Ajax for their 18-year-old goalkeeper Tommy Setford. Negotiations are ongoing. Ajax sources see Setford as a big talent, but current deal expires in June 2025. 1 year left on his deal. The England under-25 GK is very keen on a move to join Arsenal this summer. So this one looks like it's going to be our second signing of the summer, as Arsenal are trying to put a deal in place between them and Ajax. The player doesn't have a problem. He wants to join Arsenal already. Now, listen, I think the goalkeeping situation is one Arsenal want to clear very quickly and very well before the season starts. I mean, it's very unclear whether by the time we start the season, David Raya is going to be in goal. He's going to play in the... He's not going to really play, but Spain have advanced until the finals of the Euros. That is, I think 14th or 15th of this month on Sunday. And that means that he will have less than... I think he will have 1 month to rest and go back into the Arsenal squad. So you never know. Arsenal might start a new season with another goalkeeper in goal. Maybe we could start the season with Dan Bentley in goal. Maybe we could start the season with Tony Setford in goal. It will depend. But Arsenal are working to find the solution and a very good solution on the goalkeeping situation. Remember, Ramsdale is set to leave Arsenal. However much Arsenal want to keep him, however much we are going to ask for 50 million euros, which no one is going to give us. I think the idea and the general consensus around the club is that Ramsdale will leave eventually and Arsenal will bring in 2 new goalkeepers. Now imagine Raya is at the Euros, which means that right now, if Arsenal are training, they have 1 goalkeeper, and that goalkeeper is Karl Hein. Ramsdale is also at the Euros, and of course, you cannot really bank on Ramsdale to stay. And even if he stays, I don't think that his mind is at Arsenal. I don't think he's a player that is, planning his future with Arsenal. So it's better to let him go rather than keep him in the squad. And by the time you require him, he's not actually fully focused. So that's why Mikel Arteta and Edu are working around the clock to get in a new goalkeeper. We know that yesterday we sent in a bid to Wolverhampton Wanderers, a satanic bid, and that was rejected. That was turned down. Now Arsenal have offered, have made an offer for a new goalkeeper at Ajax. We don't know the details of the offer. Fabrizio doesn't reveal the details of the offer. I don't know if it could be 1 million, it could be 10 million. We wait to see. But the player is very keen on the move. And again, for me, if this is going to be our backup goalkeeper, I think it's a very good move. Listen, the future of England's goalkeepers is under 20 goalkeepers. Look at you look at Trafford, you look at Tommy Setford. I think that is the future. They are going to find the next Pickford among this bunch of goalkeepers that is under 20. And I also think that at 18 he's ready to come and give us some good football. We have seen it with James Trafford at Burnley, played almost a whole season with Burnley in the Premier League. I think these players are ready. I wouldn't really say I'm excited. I trust him very much, but I wouldn't really have a big problem. Now, if you sign an 18-year-old goalkeeper, what that guarantees you is, he's a young goalkeeper, so he's not looking to push the, Raya out of the starting 11, but he's also a young goalkeeper that gives you a little bit of, future. right? So it means that in the next 5 years, maybe if David Raya is leaving, we could do what Manchester City have done with Ederson and Ortega. Ederson goes to Saudi Arabia, and then Ortega comes in as, you know, the new number one, right? And that's why he signed a new deal at Man City to become the new number one. So I can see Tommy Setford becoming Arsenal's new number one. If he does well when we sign him, he can become Arsenal's new number one in the next 5 years, right? Like that is the contract, you know, the contract of Raya is 4 years, so it ends in 2029. So 2029, we're in 2024, in 2028. So probably Raya's contract is extended by 2 years, and it ends in 2030. Between 2030 and now, that is 6 years, Setford will be 25 or 24 by then, and he will well and truly be at the level where he can say, I want to start representing Arsenal. I want to be Arsenal's number one. So for me, it's a good deal. At 18, you can be a good backup goalkeeper. You can, you know, come and push the goalkeeper currently that is playing as number one. And then 5 years later, you can start demanding more football. You can, you know, start playing for the club. You will be that kind of guy that, you know, has known the philosophy of the club. You know the ins and outs of the club. So for me, it's a good deal. It's a very good deal. I can see harmony there. I can see development there. And I can see that Arsenal are not going to spend a lot of money like we did on Ramsdale and Raya. Because Ramsdale and Raya, both combined, they cost us a total of around, I would say, 65 million. So when you think about Raya and you think about Setford, the price could be around maybe 10 million euros. For me, I mean, Ajax are saying they rate him that much, so it could be around 10 million euros. That is not a bad deal. In which world is 10 million euros for an 18-year-old super talent that could be your first choice in the next 10 years a bad deal? That wouldn't be a bad deal as well. So anyway, Arsenal are now in negotiations with Ajax to close that deal, as we are looking to panic, you know, and close the goalkeeping situation, which is like, it's looking like a gaping hole, really. Now, the other breaking story coming out of Spain is that Mikel Arteta has convinced the Arsenal directors and the Arsenal board to go against their policy and sign Mikel Merino. Now, the policy at Arsenal right now has been predominantly, obviously, we have broken it a few times, but it has been predominantly to sign players under the age of 25. So I think we have broken that by signing Thomas Partey. We signed Partey, I think it was at around 26, 27. We have also broken that by signing, who else? Who else did we sign? Jorginho as well. Yep, Jorginho as well. We broke the meter there. And David Raya, because we brought in David Raya at 26, 27 there. So the general understanding and general consensus around Arsenal is that we sign young players, players that can develop, players that can turn into world-class players, and maybe players for the future, that even if Arsenal don't win the Premier League in the first 2 seasons, we can win it in the next 4 years or even in the next 5 years. So that's the general consensus around Arsenal. However, Mikel is going against that on another midfielder, and this time it is Mikel Merino. Mikel feels like this is the player. Arteta feels like this is the player he should be getting, and he's willing to bend the rules on Mikel Merino. Now, listen, I do like Mikel Merino. I think he's a talented player, but unless Mikel Arteta really is 100% sure about this guy, I don't know why we would go to all these lengths. So there are only two things here. There are only two outcomes here. It's either Mikel is 100% locked in and locked on Mikel Merino, or he doesn't see any other players on the market, which would be a lie. There are so many other players on the market. We have been told about Eze, we've been told about Julian Brandt, we've been told about Kimmich, and so many others. So it means that Mikel Arteta looks at him as the player that he wants. He's 100% the player he's actually locked on. And we've been told that he looks at him as a Granit Xhaka replacement. I thought Declan Rice would actually do that, in my opinion. But anyway, should Arsenal go against the policy? Should we go against our policy to sign Mikel Merino at that age? Probably yes, probably no. This is why I would say yes. Yes, because the manager wants him, and yes, because the manager has got so many things right. No, because in 2 years, you're going to be, reinvesting money in that position. And secondly, he's not going to come cheap. Honestly, he won't come cheap. Atletico Madrid want him. Yeah, sorry about that. Atletico Madrid want him. Barcelona want him. I don't think it's going to come cheap. I think it's going to be a minimum of 30 million euros. So if Arsenal get him for 30 million euros, use him for 2 years. You have a Jorginho who's old there. You have Partey who's living there. Why am I not convinced, right? So he might be looking at him as a replacement in the long run, a replacement for Partey and a replacement for Jorginho, or either role, or even both. Yeah, that makes sense, because you want that kind of mature level, head, in your midfield, in that area. I understand, but why am I not convinced about Arsenal breaking their own rules to go and sign Mikel Merino, including breaking that under 25 signings rule, right? But I'm also one for experience. The problem with Mikel Merino is he hasn't really won a lot. He's not coming in with a big winning mentality, or a big winning record. I wouldn't really say so. So I think it's 50-50. If Mikel Arteta brings him in and it works, well and good, Mikel. If he brings him in and it fails, the way we signed Sylvester, the way we signed Liechtensteiner, under certain managers, that would be a bad one. That would really, really, really be a bad one. But it's just the breaking story I wanted to share with you as well. Now, the other breaking story, Fabrizio Romano has also confirmed that Albert Sambi Lokonga to Sevilla. Here we go. The deal is in place. Arsenal, the deal is in place with Arsenal on loan for him to go to Sevilla. Sevilla will cover his salary with 12 million euros by option, clause included in the deal. Medicals already booked. Albert Sambi Lokonga leaves Arsenal to join Sevilla. Here we go. We've talked about Albert Sambi Lokonga before. But what I've never actually talked about is how good this deal is for the player. I think for Arsenal, we have we've fucked up. I don't want to lie. The deal is not barbaric. It's not bad. But we've fucked up. Why? We've got 9 million euros on a deal to, for Nuno Tavares. And we've got 12 million euros on a deal for Albert Sambi Lokonga. Mark my words, Lokonga is going to go to Sevilla, and he's going to be an important player for them, and he's going to be a classy player for them. I think we could have done better. I don't know if people agree with me. People might not agree with me, but I think we could have done better. We could have 15 million would have been okay. 70 million would have been even better. Getting the right amount of money we signed for Albert Sambi Lokonga would have been very good. But 12 million euros, that's a bad deal. Honestly, that's a bad deal. But what I want to talk about is how good this deal is for the player. I think Lokonga is a good player, good talent. But there's some players that have zoned themselves in Spain, and they have actually succeeded in Spain, but they don't want to come out of Spain because they know their football is made for Spain. A player like Martin Zubimendi, a player like Sergio Busquets. I'm not saying Busquets wouldn't actually boss midfields if he played under Pep Guardiola in the Premier League, but Busquets under a manager like Carlo Ancelotti at Everton, no way. Under Ferguson, no way. It was never going to work. At Chelsea under Mourinho, no way. It was never going to work. So I think Lokonga, because he's a little bit soft, loses concentration at times. He'll have to, train himself, on that. And also, he likes to take that touch and, kind of forgets that there are other opponents on the pitch. He needs a lot of time on the ball to do the nice things. I think Spain is a good deal for him. Sevilla is a very good deal for him. A team with a little bit of pressure. They the masters of winning the Europa League, but they're also very, very good at qualifying for Europe almost each and every season. So he will be playing in Europe. He will be, he has a chance to win silverware whenever they go to the Europa League. Sevilla are seen as Europa League potential winners every single time. Even if they register for the Europa League without a single player, without a board of directors, and without a manager, Sevilla are always favorites to win the Europa League, regardless of who's playing for them, regardless of the number of staff they have. So I think, for me, it's a good deal for him. It's a very good deal for him. It's not as bad as Championship. He's going to play in one of Europe's top 5 leagues. I don't see how that's a bad one. I don't see how that's a bad deal for him. Another deal that I think is good for a player is Tavares. So Fabrizio has also just confirmed that Lazio are advancing well in talks with Nuno Tavares has come to agree on personal terms. Agreement with Arsenal sealed on 9 million, loan fee with obligation to buy, with sell-on clause as well included. Positive contacts on salary with player side, still waiting to get the deal done. Now, this one benefits the player more than it benefits. This one benefits Arsenal more than it benefits the player. I think he goes to Lazio, he's going to become a regular player, yes. But Arsenal to rip off 9 million there, like for us to get 9 million in that deal. Yes, it's 5 million initially fixed. It's 5 million fixed, and then the rest will come in add-ons. I don't even care. Like, I don't even care. Lie to UEFA, lie to the Premier League that we got 9 million. Who cares? Who's going to find out? Just tell them that we got 9 million, right? That's a very good deal for Arsenal, like very, very good deal for Arsenal. And yes, for the player, it's also a good one. It's also a good one because if you're Tavares, you're looking at one or two things. One, regular game time. Two, redemption. You're looking at redemption. Where can you go and silence the haters, silence, the guys that talk a lot, like Cossy, saying you will never make it, you're not a good defender. Where do you go and you silence them? Lazio is a good deal. So, bit of breaking news. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you tomorrow in the morning.